And welcome everybody to Sports on Tap Extra. I'm Noah Jacobson, aka Dr. Hoops, and this is the 2023-2024 High School Basketball Preview Show. And tonight we are joined by Brecksville-Broadview Heights head coach Steve Mehalik. He is in his 17th year as the Beast head coach with a record of 256 and 117. Coach, thank you for taking the time of joining me tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us on. No, I really appreciate it.
No problem. So, Coach, we'll just kind of recap the 2022-23 season for you guys. Last year, you guys finished 23-4 overall, 11-1 in the conference. For the third straight year, you guys won the Suburban League National Conference, and then you guys went to the playoffs. You guys didn't eventually where you wanted to go, but you guys made the district finals. You guys lost to St. Ignatius in overtime. So, Coach, just kind of talk about how the 22-23 season went for you guys, and then we'll just kind of go into the good stuff.
It was special. I mean, anytime you can win a conference title, let alone trying to do it back-to-back years, it's tough. I mean, the kids realize that every time they go out, they get everybody's best effort. And I was really proud of that group last year because we had lost a lot of guys from the year before. We lost to Tyler Ganley and Eli Skaljac and Matt Rose. And those were some pretty good players and some pretty good leaders. But we had some guys really step up last year. And, I mean, we won a conference title. Yes, it didn't go the way we wanted to. I mean, we lost in overtime at the buzzer to St. Ignatius in the district final. As you could tell, I still haven't gotten over that one, Noah. But that's 2 years in a row. We made it to the district final and lost in the last seconds. So it's great to get there, but obviously, as you can tell, we got a little bad taste in our mouths. But couldn't be proud of the way that group played last year. I think it was a fun group to watch, and I'm really excited about this group that we have on the floor for us right now.
Well, Coach, going into this year, as you guys know, the Suburban League is probably one of the toughest conferences in Northeast Ohio, possibly in Ohio in particular. And
yes,
you guys in the Suburban League National Conference, you guys add a team in Solon who was in the GCC before and has had a lot of.
We had an easy team, right? They're just state finalists. They had a consistent record of winning for the last 20 years. Yeah, nice addition.
Yeah, but Coach, adding like a team like Solon, just kind of talk about how does it make your guys' team better knowing that they're coming into your guys' conference?
I tell you what, when they came in, I talked to my one assistant because Coach DeCesar, who stepped down, we have the utmost respect for, and we were excited because he was going to make us a better coach by having to prepare for him. Then he stepped down, and Coach Takula, I mean, he's been to a Final Four. So what do you expect? So from our aspect from the coaching, it's going to keep us on our toes. It's going to make us better coaches. You know, going up against the guys in our division. You know, Coach Close, going up against the guys in Ohio High School Hall of Famer, and everybody. It makes us better as coaches. And to be honest with you, our guys are at the point now where they want to play the best teams. You know, we upped our schedule. Our scrimmage schedule was pretty much the top 10 teams in the area. They want to play the best teams. And that old quote, iron sharpens iron. You know, we didn't get what we wanted to last year, the final result. So we got to keep going up against the best teams to see how close we are.
Well, Coach, when you mention like some of the best teams, your non-conference schedule, you scheduled 3 of your teams. You face Cleveland Glenville on January 20th. You face Akron Butchell on January 30th. And then you guys, who you're familiar with before, a couple years removed, St. Edwards. But just kind of talk about how the non-conference schedule went for you guys and how does it make your guys' a little bit more competition, not as far as like the non-conference.
So, our non-conference is rough, you know, and the last 2 years we played St. Ed's, once at their place, once at our place. Both were fantastic atmospheres at their place. You know, we managed to pull off a win. They got us at our place, but at our place last year, I mean, completely sold out. We had people standing on top of the bleachers. Was not even, standing room only. our gym turned into like 110 degrees because it was so crowded. Same place, at their place, it's going to be the same way when you play a state champion like Bookdale and Glenville and Coach Holt. I mean, that's going to make us better for the tournament. And ultimately, no matter what conference you're in, you kind of get used to the teams in your conference, and you might not play it. Might play somebody completely different than you see in your conference. So we made a decision about 10 years ago. We won our first conference title in 32 years. And then we played Lorraine in the first round of the playoffs and just got blown out. Like we were a mess because we hadn't seen that type of speed and athleticism. So now we've just upped our scrimmage schedule. We've upped our non-conference schedule to the point that, our guys can go toe to toe with anybody in the tournament. Now we got to make that next step to finish some things out, but they're never intimidated and they're never scared, which is awesome to see.
Well, Coach, some of your players returning, obviously, I'll talk about one of them, Luke Skaljac, who's been a 3-year starter for you guys. He's the reigning Northeast Ohio Player of the Year, and he committed to Miami of Ohio. And then you guys return Colin Seibert and Kyle Keener. But just kind of talk about some of the other guys returning for your team, and how are they going to make a big impact for you this season?
Well, we got our backcourt back. I mean, Brady Ganley started every game last year with Luke. And Brady's just had an awesome off season in the summertime. He's taken that next step, and I think he's one of the best guards in the area. We were able to get Junior Kembaba joined us this year. First time we've ever had anybody transfer in. So now we're officially a transfer school, I guess. I don't know. It's the first time we've ever had it. He's an absolutely great young man. And so our backcourt's pretty solid. Kyle Keener, Colin Seibert are 2 football players. We got another football player in Luke Reeser, and they just bring toughness. Today in practice, we had one of the Youngstown State football coaches there looking at them. And anytime you get, scholarship football schools in your gym looking at your players, I don't care if it's their main sport or their second sport, you got some pretty good competitors. That's what it comes down to. And Luke's special. I mean, Luke is, you can call me biased, but I don't think I'm biased. I think he's the best guard in the state of Ohio. And he makes me look really good a lot of times because he's the toughest shot maker in Ohio. He has the ability to make tough shots look simple. And it's nice. Like, we got a lot of gelling to do. We're nowhere near where we need to be right now. Some new faces, some guys that have never played before, but it sure is nice to, when you're in trouble, you need to get a bucket or you need to make the right basketball play, you can give it to the best point guard in Ohio, and 9 times out of 10 he's going to make the right basketball play. Heck, mostly 10 times out of 10. So,
well, Coach, going into your 17th season already, just kind of talk about some of the biggest differences that you've had as your time as the Bees head coach. It could be from your first year to now. Just kind of talk about some of the biggest differences that you've had at your time being the Brecksville Bees head coach.
You know what? Twitter, social media has changed a lot. It's made it harder to get your message across team first when they can turn on social media and see how many likes they have and all that stuff. So it makes it a little bit tougher trying to promote the team mindset when everything on social media, everything on their phones is individual. So I think that's been huge. I think probably one of the biggest things is people specialize. We have kids now and in our youth that are specializing to one sport. And I think kids are missing out on their high school athletic careers. I tell kids, do you like to play the sport? And if they say yes, then play the sport. It's okay. You don't need 8,000 different trainers to go have fun. And it's been tough because kids are specialized, and some of the kids specialized, it's not their choice. It's whether the parents, think it's their best way for college, and it's sad because it makes it really, really hard. We have some kids that specialize in basketball. It's the same way. Some kids that specialize in football, some kids that specialize in baseball. And that's really, really changed. And I don't think it's good for kids. I think it's good for young men to have fun. And I think the most important thing is I think it stops kids from competing. Training all the time is one thing, competing is completely different. And we're lucky though. We have some kids, all three of our sports work really, really well together. Our soccer coach, his son's one of our up and coming players who's on our team right now. Like at Brecksville, we still do a pretty good job of sharing athletes, and we have to. I mean, we're a small Division I school going up against some big boys. If we don't have our best players, we don't have a chance. And that's probably been the two biggest things: specialization and the whole Twitter thing, and the focus on me instead of we.
Well, Coach, your expectations are always high. I mean, you've been here for 17 years, and your expectations are always like the same. But it feels like the last 2 years you guys made it to the district finals, and you didn't want the result that you wanted. But just kind of talk about how your expectations are sky high for you this year. But how do you handle those expectations for you and your team?
This thing called huddle. Um, we managed to spend a lot of time in the film room, and the film never lies. So we tell the boys, we're not gonna be like your parents. We're not gonna be like your AAU coaches, your travel coaches, your trainers. We're gonna give it to you real. And sometimes, if you don't believe us, there's gonna be 10 clips from our last scrimmage, or 25 clips from our last game on times we didn't box out or times we didn't share the basketball. So we really utilize the film a lot because you can't hide on the camera, and I think that helps. We're lucky. We have really, really smart kids. Been blessed. The kids that we have at Brecksville-Broadview Heights, they have high basketball IQs, so we can do a lot with them. And they embrace it. With the younger guys that are with us, and we have some good younger players. Like I mentioned, our soccer coach's son, Rocco Dean, and we have, we've been blessed the last 4 years. We've had a really great center in Chase Garrido, and he was Mr. He played in the North-South game last year for us, in the state of Ohio. We got a young one in Ben Mehalik, who I think is going to be special. And they find out really quick that, dang, we're watching more film today. Oh, there's more cut-ups. So we utilize that a lot, and I think that helps them stay humble. We preach to them all the time. Last year on our shooting shirts, we just had the big picture of the noise symbol, no noise. We're not listening to anybody else, just the people in our locker room. And takes a while. Some years they get the message quicker. Some years they continue to try and test us, but we're lucky. We have great kids, and they buy in. Knock on wood. Knock on wood that continues.
Well, Coach, thank you again for taking the time. I know you guys, the high school basketball season is already starting, and you guys have been preparing for your next matchup coming up. But again, we at Sports on Tap just want to say, we are excited to cover you guys, and I just can't thank you again for taking the time and joining me tonight. And I hope to see you at a couple of basketball games this season.
I'll tell you what, no, we really appreciate it, because in the last 10 years, I remember the days when we'd sit there and open up the Plain Dealer, and they'd have not only high school scores, but they'd have JV scores. And it's kind of gone away, but you're one of the few people that still cares enough about high school sports and about high school athletes to give them their due. So we appreciate all you guys do for us, for our kids, and for the whole high school basketball world.
Well, thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
Take care. Have a great night.
All right. Bye.